is Tanya here from EduTV, and I welcome you all to this exciting podcast today on the topic which impacts every student and parents, the transition from schools to universities. Moving from school to higher education is more than just changing campuses. It is a journey towards greater independence, new learning experiences, career exploration, and personal growth. To help us understand how students can make this transition successful, we are joined by two distinguished educators today. It's my pleasure to welcome on board Dr. Sumalini, the principal of City Academy School, the Bangalore, and Ms. Benita Albert, the manager admissions and outreach for flagship programs and international relations at Vijayabhumi Universities and IFM College, Bangalore. Welcome both of you. Thank you for sparing your time today and joining us for this exciting podcast.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. To begin with, I would want to ask a very simple question to both of you. I would request you to answer it just in one sentence as to what does a successful transition, according to you, means from school to university. Dr. Sumalini, if we can have your views first.
Thank you so much, Tanya, for such a lovely session today. The transition from the school to university is one of the most significant milestones in a student's life. So I would like to say that the habits you cultivate today will shape the professional and the person you become tomorrow.
Ms. Benita.
In continuation to what Dr. Sumalini just said, besides the habits, I think it's your mindset that takes you places. So you need to be open-minded, warm, and welcoming to the new world and the new chapter that you begin when you transition into your early adulthood at university.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Benita. Thank you, Dr. Sumalini. We would now request Ms. Benita to please take up questions with Dr. Sumalini, talking about you meet students almost every year who pass out from schools and enter into universities. So what are the things you feel you've observed into students talking about the transition phase from schools to universities, please? Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yes. So before I begin, I would like to introduce Dr. Sumalini, who is the Director and Principal of Silicon City Academy of Secondary Education, Bangalore. She's a highly accomplished individual from Hyderabad and currently leading the esteemed school of Silicon City Academy. And besides this, she's also a national level athlete and cricketer with a decade of teaching experience and 11 impressive years at Silicon City Academy alone. And I think we are really fortunate to have this beautiful engagement with you, ma'am. So I have some very interesting questions for you. So while we see this transition from schools to universities, as a school principal who has guided thousands of students, what are the biggest differences between school life and university life that every class 12 student should understand before stepping into a university campus?
Benita, ma'am, thank you so much for the lovely introduction. The major difference lies in the independence and focus. In school, the education is highly structured with mandatory attendance and close teacher supervision. In universities, you are an independent learner. You are responsible for managing your own schedule, attending large lectures, and meeting deadlines without direct oversight. So let's look at three to four, experiences where these fundamental differences we can see. First is the learning style. So in schools, generally, it involves summarizing the information directly provided by the teacher. Whereas at university, you're expected to read extensively ahead of time, engage in critical thinking, and form your own arguments. Let's move on to this class structure. The schools generally have a very small, consistent classes with a daily interaction. Whereas in universities, the courses combine massive lecture halls. Often 100 plus students will be there with a smaller discussion based seminars or tutorials. And when we move on to the specialization, in school, you study a broad range of mandatory subjects. At university, you choose a specific course. It can be a major or a degree, and you focus deeply on one chosen field. And when it comes to grading, schools' grades are typically based on your frequent homework, the quizzes, and the very famous end of the year exams. Whereas in universities, grades are often relied on a few major assignments that are per semester, research papers, independent projects, etc. So these are the major fundamental differences which you can see between the schools as well as the universities.
Great, thank you so much for that. So with this, I would like to proceed to the next question. That is, many students focus only on securing admission to a reputed university. Beyond academic scores, what skills, habits, and mindset should students develop during their final year of school to ensure they succeed in higher education and future careers?
Right. See, the admission into a well reputed university is just the beginning. The long term success actually depends on the skills and the character students develop before they leave school. First, the student should cultivate a very, very strong communication skills, both written as well as verbal. The ability to express ideas confidently, work effectively in the teams is also essential in higher education. And every profession, you will have to have an open mindset. You should also be ready to develop self management skills, time management, goal setting, and the discipline to balance academics, extracurricular activities, the personal well being are very, very crucial for success in an independent learning environment. Third, and the most important thing is that students should embrace the growth mindset. They will have to be ready to view challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles to avoid. Curiosity, creativity, critical thinking, and digital literacy are equally important in today's rapidly evolving world. And I also would like to encourage students to build empathy, integrity, and emotional resilience because universities are not just places to earn degrees. You know, they are the environments where students develop leadership qualities, ethical values, and the confidence to contribute meaningfully to the society. Education should prepare the students not just for the employment, but also for the life.
Thank you so much for that. It is so rich and meaningful, that the way you have put together everything in one response is amazing, ma'am. So, if you could give three pieces of advice to students who will graduate from school next year, what would they be to help them choose the right university, adapt confidently to campus life, and make the most of the university journey that they are going to undertake?
So, my first advice is to choose a university based on the quality of education that it provides, the academic culture it has, the opportunities for research, for internships, for mentorships, and overall students' development, not merely on the ranking or on the peer influence, which most of the time we see children, my friend has joined this particular university and I would also like to join. So, select a place that aligns with your interest, aspirations, and career goals. This is going to be my first advice. The second one is that be prepared to embrace independence with a lot of responsibility. So, university life offers tremendous freedom, but with all that freedom, we need to embrace accountability as well. You need to learn to manage your time wisely. You need to maintain healthy routines. You need to seek help when it is needed and to build meaningful relationships with the faculty and the peers as well. The third and the most important thing is never stop learning beyond the classroom. Participate in clubs, volunteer for community initiatives, pursue your internships, develop new skills, and explore the opportunities for the global exposure. Every experience contributes to your personal and professional growth. So, we should all remember that a university degree opens doors, but it is your attitude, the values, the curiosity, and the willingness to keep learning that actually determines how far you will go. Success is just not measured only by your qualification you earn, but by the impact you create through your knowledge, through your character, and the commitment for the lifelong learning. So I expect all the students to become a lifelong learners.
Thank you so much for this, ma'am. And what would you like to, I would say, highlight over here, given the transition that we see, the way, back in the day, students were transitioning from school to universities. Today, the students are very well prepared. They are very, very confident. What would you highlight for these students to accomplish the most before they begin their university life? What should they prepare themselves with?
So, as I already told you, most significant milestone in one's life is this transition from school to university. So, we need to first understand that the university education emphasizes on your critical thinking, your research, collaboration, and your problem solving, rather than simply memorizing the information. So, students should be encouraged to ask questions, to challenge the ideas, to apply the knowledge in the real world situations. And equally important is the diversity they will experience. Universities bring together students from different cultures, languages, backgrounds, providing them the opportunities to broaden perspectives and build lifelong networks. So these are the most important things I feel when a child is transition from the school to university. We need to keep all these things in mind before stepping into the university campus.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Tanya, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sumalini and Ms. Venita. Uh, just one last question that I would want to put up again to both of you is I would want to ask you, Dr. Sumalini, first to you. Considering we have students who would be watching this program today, what is your one piece of advice that you would want to give them to remember once they prepare for the university admissions, please?
Okay, the one thing what I expect all the students is that start taking ownership of your learning, manage your time effectively, and make responsible decisions.
Right. And how about you, Ms. Benita?
What I want to tell the students is, see, from class 1 to 12, there are a lot of people mentoring you, teaching you, guiding you, hand holding you. You will continue to receive that kind of support if you continue your education in India. And if you go overseas to your international institutions, you may not receive that kind of an environment and that kind of hand holding. So I want our students to understand that you also should be ready for adulthood. And this young adulthood comes in so suddenly that we are not prepared. So, as you are preparing your academic profile, you're preparing your college university entrance profile, you're preparing for your career, you're exploring so many, I would say, you're exploring your passion, your talent, your interest. How about a life graph about who I am, understand myself, understand my skills, what I like, what I would like to learn more, explore more in my young adulthood? It's called, like, the 5-year plan, 10-year plan. It sounds too big, but we want our students to also focus on preparing themselves for the new life, and for that they need to prepare themselves. So students, I hope you will today go back and look at a career graph for yourself, not a, sorry, a life graph for yourself. Like, you have a career graph, you have a college, university, you have your options ready, you want to look at why you want to be there. How about a life graph? What do I want to be? How do I want to look when I go to university? How do I want to present myself? How should I sound? And what are the things I lack? For example, if I find it very difficult to make new friends. So what are the new things that I need to enhance in myself for socializing with people my age? So and be open-minded. Be open-minded to receive everything that comes. There's a lot that will come.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sumalini. Thank you, Ms. Benita, for sharing your valuable insights today. Today's discussion actually reminds us that preparing students for university is not just about securing admission there. It's about building up confidence for them, curiosity, resilience, and definitely the ability to adapt to an ever-changing environment and ever-changing world altogether. Because when parents, universities, and even the schools work together, students are empowered not only to succeed academically, but yes, to thrive personally and professionally as well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining us in today's podcast. This is Tanya signing off from EduTV Studio.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, ma'am. It was a pleasure being on this show. Thank you. Thank you, Benita. Thank you, Tanya, ma'am. Take care.
Join the EDU TV network. Connect, collaborate, inspire, and lead for schools, universities, and industry. Contact Tanya Sethi to participate.